Okay, this is part 3, just to show you about ballistics. Okay, now we don't have a muzzle velocity of that gun, do we, Jacob? Do we have a muzzle velocity of that gun? Try to look that up. Okay, now this is the story.
Muzzle velocity.
Try to do it silently, and then make sure you write it down. All right, just give me a second. I'll ask you for that in a second. Now, what I did was I gave all the students some chores to do about cities in northern France that were in occupied France, occupied by Germany during World War I. So this is a little bit of a history lesson. We all know, or you know by this time in your studies, that the Germans attacked through Belgium, and the reason the English joined World War I was because Germany attacked France through Belgium. Now, we talked about the ballistics of a cannon, and it says that it is 87,500 or 87 kilometers. That was this particular cannon, okay? Now, the cannon that the Germans used was called the Paris gun, okay? Was the Paris gun. And that gun was called Kaiser Wilhelm Geschütz. Kaiser Wilhelm Geschütz. But no one could pronounce that, so they said the Paris gun. We have a German in...
That was actually pretty good pronunciation.
Was that good? We have a German in class who is versed in World War I. Okay. And did you study World War I in school when you're... Yeah, you did. What did they talk about? What did they say about it?
Well, we did talk a lot about the Verdun thing.
You did talk a lot about Verdun. Yeah, Verdun was a bloody campaign. But what happened in Verdun was it kept exchanging hands. Is that correct?
Yeah, and then I think at the end.
Constantly. So, these are cities in France. I am not going to pronounce them. We had a young man in here who told us he's French, and he told us how to pronounce them. Does anybody remember how to pronounce any of them?
Yeah.
Lille?
Lille.
How do you spell this?
Lille.
Lille.
Yeah.
Lille?
Roubaix.
Roubaix?
Yes.
Rennes? Rennes? They're done. Okay, I don't want to go into the pronunciation because I'm going to... You know, the last time I spoke French, I was taken away in an ambulance because my throat closed up. So it's... Yes. What is it? No, I'm not. I think French is a wonderful poetic language. It shouldn't be called a language. It should be called a form of poetry. It's a beautiful language. The way they speak that and they can say all those words, unbelievable. I could learn Arabic more quickly than I can learn French in terms of the pronunciation. So, you can see why Verdun was so contested. It's 261 kilometers. The Paris gun had a range of 130 kilometers, and they were within range of Paris. We tried to do this in like 10 or 15 minutes to try to find out all this information. I may do a part 4 on World War I to come up with some other figures, okay? So that'll be part 4. But this is just a kind of an introduction to part 4 and a finale of parts 1 and 2. So, these cities are in northern France. I asked them to pick cities, and they're north of Paris. They were probably in German territory. We're going to do a research, and we're going to find out. And the Paris gun was 130 kilometers. So you can see why some of these cities, especially Reims, was so contested, because it was well within the range. If you passed it, if you took the city, cities were oftentimes far apart, and taking a city was important for the occupying army. So they had to get within this range. So you can see why Verdun was so hotly contested. Okay, it was a key city. Now remember, the gun is going to travel quite a bit. Do we have a muzzle velocity on that gun?
Yes.
What is it? I asked people to write things down. They're so computer literate, they don't remember to write something down on paper. They have to go back. He did that. You did write it down. You did the old-fashioned way.
Yeah.
You used a pen. Le bleu.
Yeah.
Okay. What is it?
1,640 meters per second.
What is it? 1,600.
1,640 meters per second.
1,640 meters per second. Just do something very quickly for me. Just very quickly. What is 1,640 cosine 45? That would be the best velocity?
That would be 1,160.
What is it?
1,160.
Okay, what was Vx when we did this? What was Vx? Wasn't it 500? What was Vx? They don't write things down. 500. So you could see that the Paris gun could very easily have been in range of Verdun. Verdun to Paris. You see that? That's over twice the horizontal velocity. And this value here will make this go even higher, so it will be in the air longer. You see that? The higher you can shoot it at 45 degrees, the longer it's going to be in the air. So at 45 degrees where you get the most distance, not the most height, but the best combination, you could easily see, and that will be part 4. We're going to do some research, and we're going to find out what it was. Clear? Okay, end of part 3. Got it? Yes? Be back for part 4.